Getting a driving license in Dubai isn't just about passing a few tests. It's a full journey. It's got excitement, nerves, frustration, and finally, that big feeling of accomplishment. And today, I want to share exactly how I went through it all. What I paid, who helped me, what I struggled with, and what finally worked. It all started in June 2024. I registered for my license through the Karama branch, and that's where I met Haroon. Trust me, this guy was like a guardian angel throughout the process. He didn't just handle paperwork, he gave me guidance on instructors, test timing, booking strategy, basically everything. I paid 769 dirhams to open my file, did the mandatory eye test for 130 dirhams, and just like that, the journey officially began. Soon after, I jumped into the theory classes. From June 14th to 19th, I attended lectures covering road signs, traffic laws, hazard awareness, all that good stuff. It cost 420 dirhams. To prep, I also did a mock test, which honestly was super helpful. It cost 210 dirhams and included 600 practice questions. I booked my theory test for June 22nd and went in feeling pretty confident. It had 40 questions, 35 regular and 5 video-based hazard perception. The pass mark was 30. I scored 35. That moment gave me a solid boost of confidence. After passing, I headed straight to the Al Quaz branch to book my driving classes. I paid 1,155 dirhams for 40 classes in total, but initially booked just the first 4. My first class was on July 1st with Irfan Khan, a calm, patient instructor who walked me through everything from car controls to safety checks. I hadn't driven in over a year and never in Dubai, so I was nervous. But Irfan made it manageable. After that, I shifted to the Karama branch and started evening classes with Liaquat. From July 2nd to 5th, we did 10 to 11 p.m. slots, perfect for avoiding daytime traffic. Liaquat focused on two-way road training, lane changes, checking blind spots, and mirror usage. He was very systematic and really helped me get comfortable on the road. On July 6th, I had a 2-hour intensive session with Zishan Khan back at Al Quaz. Since that's where the final test happens, I wanted to get used to those roads. We worked on multi-lane roads, roundabouts, and intersections. Then back with Liaquat again on July 8th and 9th. This time for 2-hour evening sessions where we focused on speed control, U-turns, and parking maneuvers. Now, after 24 classes, it was time for the internal assessment. I booked the test for July 14th but took an extra class that same morning with Mr. Muhib. And let me tell you, this guy was a game changer. He's sharp, detailed, and doesn't miss a thing. He corrected my indicator timing, braking patterns, and especially how I handled turns. But the test didn't go as planned. My examiner was Mr. Umar. Tough guy. I was the only student he tested that day. Things started fine, but during a right turn and a lane change on a 60 km/h road, I hesitated. I panicked a bit, asked for clarification mid-test, and made some jerky maneuvers. I ended up failing, with 2 major mistakes and 11 minor ones. I was disheartened. Honestly, I started thinking the system was built to make students fail. I vented to Haroon, but he, as always, was calm and said, "It's better to make mistakes now than during the RTA test. That's the real deal." His advice helped me reset. I booked a 2-hour follow-up class with Mr. Muhib on July 21st. When he saw me again, he was like, You failed? I gave you a 4 out of 5. Apparently that was rare. We spent 15 minutes just reviewing the test route and identifying where I went wrong. Panic, mostly. Then we practiced until everything felt smooth. I had my reassessment the same day with Mr. Umar again. Another student was being tested too, so I observed from the back seat first. When it was my turn, I stayed calm, followed instructions without hesitation, and drove like I'd practiced. And this time, I passed. Mr. Umar himself said, "You've improved a lot. Well done." That felt really good. Next came parking. I booked 2 classes, one with Mr. Farhan and one with Mr. Muhib. Farhan taught me the math of parking. He made it simple. I learned all 3 types, parallel, angle, garage, plus slope test and emergency braking. In just an hour, I got the basics. The next hour was pure repetition. Then, on July 28th, I did another parking class with Muhib just to tighten things up. That same day, I took my internal parking test with Mr. Umar again. It was nerve-wracking. The test car had sensors and a robotic voice giving instructions. Umar was outside the car watching my every move. He pointed out a couple of small things, like I missed head checks during parallel parking and got too close to the line in angle parking. He didn't fail me, but strongly recommended an extra class before the final RTA Smart Yard test. Booking the RTA parking test wasn't easy. First slot I saw was over a week away. Haroon advised me to wait a day. Next day, boom, he found a slot for August 1st and booked it after I paid 293.5 dirhams via app. Now here's the twist. I trained in a Mitsubishi Atrage, but the test car was a Nissan Sunny. I panicked again. New car, new reference points, but I remembered Muhib's advice. Just adjust, don't overthink. I did just that. The test had 5 parts: slope, emergency braking, angle parking, garage, parallel. I stayed focused the whole time. When I got back, the examiner stared at me quietly and then finally handed over the result slip. I had passed, with a completely different car in one attempt. That moment? Unreal. After all that, only one thing remained: the final road test. I took 2 highway classes on August 4th and 10th, and on August 11th went in for the big one. I arrived early, went through all the pre-checks, and just drove calmly like I'd practiced. When the examiner told me I passed, I couldn't stop smiling. The final road test cost 346 dirhams, and after passing, I paid 320 more for the license issuance. So, in just under 50 days, I went from registering for my license to holding it in my hand. The total cost for everything, classes, extra sessions, tests, and all the formalities, came out to around 4,900 dirhams. Add the 300 for the license, and you're looking at a full journey that cost me around 5,200 dirhams. Honestly, it was totally worth it, not just for the license, but for the confidence and clarity I gained through the process. And hey, if you're planning to get your license in Dubai, or have any doubts along the way, feel free to drop your questions in the comments.